a little bit more understandable.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
TI time.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, pre-TI. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to What the Duck, the occasional Moonduck podcast, hoping to get more regular. This is episode number 41. We're back with most of the usual suspects. Sayori here with Suns fan, Sir Action, Slacks, and Purge. It's post-TI. Everyone back from the trek to Vancouver, and all four of us actually went to Vancouver. So how appropriate we bring this podcast together. Welcome back, boys.
It's not true. Suns fan didn't go. You just
right.
Called him out.
I actually
for no
totally
reason.
forgot. I spaced. I saw Suns fan and I thought Trent, and then I remembered it's Suns fan. So sorry, bud. You missed out on the Vancouver trip.
I get myself confused with Trent all the time. You know, very responsible.
Well,
I have a baby. Well,
Very
mine's in my
good
tummy
baby.
right now, but yeah, it was my first TI not attending, and although it was the best TI of all time, most likely, I don't regret my decision. It was actually really nice to just step away, being burnt out from Dota for a bit.
Wait, well,
so it was good.
What was the first TI? You weren't at TI 1, were you?
Nobody includes TI 1 when they say
Oh,
that.
okay.
TI 1 was an exhibition match, bro.
I've been to every
TI
other.
1 was not a TI. Fuck TI 1.
Yeah, TI was if you look back on it, it was actually a shit show because if you remember, it used, like, for a lot of the streams, they couldn't cover more than one game at a time, right? So you'd watch directed camera, which is bad enough, but back then it was even worse. And if there was a Tinker in the game, you're literally watching Tinker TP back to base every single time. It was pretty bad. And it was a Spectre versus Anti-Mage every single game.
Or Weaver.
It was, man, we've come a long way, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I agree with you, though. This was like the first TI where I went and really didn't have that much to do, right? I did interviews on press day, and then the rest of the event, I was basically just watching. I wasn't really making any content. You know, I didn't have Trent and Mott there with me to make funny videos with. I was really pretty much just watching and hanging out with people, and it is a little bit of a different experience. That's one thing you miss out on when you work an event like that is it's so chaotic, and there's so much going on, and there's so much pressure that you're just completely focused on your job. Whatever you're doing has all of your attention, and you kind of have blinders on to some of the other stuff. This was the first TI where I felt like I saw basically every piece of content that was produced, like the supplementary stuff in between games. And that felt nice to be able to actually catch that live instead of hear people talk about it and then go back and watch the YouTube VODs.
Ooh, that must be something. I actually have to watch the content. That sucks. Sorry about that.
I don't know, man.
Really good this year.
It was pretty good this year. Yeah, wasn't that like the kind of the ubiquitous feedback that this was by far and large the best year for content that a TI has seen? I mean, we've had some good content, but fucking going to Japan, finding all these small communities. Come on, Biggs. Come on.
Before we get into that, Suns fan. I mean, Reddit told me that you declined the invite. So proud of you for that one, man.
Why
really
are we
took some
doing this
time to
again?
yourself.
Why are we
Really?
doing this again?
What? It's just like I would read these comments with such fucking 100% like, well, Suns fans said that he declined the and just knowing that it wasn't true, but reading it like, how could someone go on the internet and say something with 200% confidence in that way and just have no fucking idea what they're talking about? I don't understand.
Isn't that just the internet that you just described?
I mean, maybe I'm confused, but typically every time I read Reddit or something on the internet, I'm like, okay, this guy maybe he's embellishing a little bit, but he does kind of have an idea because he's so confident. And it's just like, no, that literally no idea. It blew my fucking mind. I couldn't. Why? What kind of person does that? And they're just like, well, obviously. I don't get it, man. It's crazy. Heard you know about that all the time, right?
Yep, I'm one of them. Comes naturally to me. It's not hard.
Anyway, but
all right, cool. Can we frame this around Slacks, what you did for TI? Let's start off there, I think. Because I think you've talked about it a little bit, but does the average person?
No, nobody knows. Well, I was gonna do a blog post, but then I figured that'd be a little fucking egotistical. So yeah, it was.
Talk about it.
All right. It was a really interesting TI for me. Maybe nobody knows this, or a lot of the industry guys don't know it, but over the last year, when we did Midas Mode 1, I was like, I really enjoyed that, and I wanted to know what it was like to build a tournament like that, and then I wanted to know what's it like to build a bigger tournament. What's it like to do the biggest tournament? So I approached Valve and was like, hey, we did Captain's Draft, I did Midas Mode. I really think I have some good ideas about how the show could be produced, how the content could go, all that stuff. And I sent them this very cringy proposal around ESO Genting. And then, they accepted it. So I was basically working on TI, that big project, that big secret thing, was working on like TI and the artifact thingy for like 4 months. And just like planning what are the new innovations we can do at TI? How can we make it better? How can the show flow differently? And I can't take credit for everything. Of course, it was like I would give them ideas and then we'd build it together. But yeah, TI was it was a baby. That was my baby, dude. That was like, I get shivers just thinking about it. Like, it was, instead of being talent, being able to like help with that experience and work with Valve for the last 2 months. I was like living in Seattle, going 9 to 5 at Valve. I had my own computer, my own login. They gave me a fucking email address.
Email?
Wow.
You can hit me up at jk@valvesoftware.com. So yeah, it was something else, man. It was crazy. But the Valve guys are, what's it like to work for your heroes, dude? It's exactly what you'd think like. They just want to hear everything that you want to say. They want to make good products, and they all want to help build things together. So it was fucking crazy, dude. It was fucking crazy. But yeah.
Well, I think I can say as an outsider that the content pieces were super, super good. I'm sure everybody else feels the same way, but I just felt like saying it on for the podcast. But the videos in between were just solid. I know that a lot of times you'd have to like come up with skits day of and then have to scramble to make them or film things, and every content piece was just super amazing. Really felt more like a community vibe from the whole thing together, which was great.
It was something new that not a lot of people, I don't know why. We have a $25 million tournament. No one's ever tried to do pre-release content. No one's ever tried to do really high quality, let's plan this 4 months in advance and actually set this shit up content. It's always like, show up and fucking do whatever you can. And the difference is, yeah, it was astronomical. Like, seeing stuff that a bunch of people at Valve planned together to make sure that it happened well. It was just, I don't know if you could do that at every esports tournament, though. I mean, it was interesting. But
I think from watching, I got to watch from home, obviously, and it was easily the most entertaining tournament I've seen from an outside perspective, because there's no downtime at TI typically. But sometimes the content is just complete dog shit. You can tell it's just like super, and some of it's from you, Slacks, in the past. Just put something together last minute.
I mean, it has to be.
No, I understand how it works, but this time with the preparation in mind, you can definitely tell the difference. It was really, really good.
Well, we'll see if we can keep that flowing for Shanghai. I don't know what they're gonna do for that tournament. That's gonna be.
You're not invited, by the way.
I hope not. Just kidding, but I don't know though. I think this TI was really good, but it was missing a few things. I'm not gonna suck your dick too hard, but I thought it was missing you, Purge. Your segment,
no, please.
Of course.
That's the D.
Nothing. I mean, of course, Weatherman is kind of the biggest regret. I think there is ideas being thrown around for what to do, and we tried that different approach with the meta talk and all that stuff. So I don't know. Definitely could have seen you on the main stage, buddy. That's what I wanted. But what can he do? I will say one thing, that Gaben pack though, Daddy had to fight.
Best thing ever. Yeah. Holy shit.
Daddy had to fight for that shit. Now, I'm not going to take credit for everything that happened at TI. It was very much, I was like, here's my idea. Val was like, here's how we interpret your idea to work. We work together and we make this great product. But Gaben, from fucking day one, in bold letters, Gaben announcer pack. It was all I wanted. It almost died so many times, but it was like, I fucking storyboarded that shit. I helped write that shit. We got Gabe in there and we actually recorded the lines together. Valve helped me do lines and stuff, and it was just like, I almost cried when I watched it actually go in. It was like fucking. Do you know what it's like to write lines for Gabe Newell and he fucking reads them out? It was insane. It was fucking insane. So that was insane. That's the one thing I'll say, my baby. The true sites too. Those dust of appearance things. Mm-hmm. That was a really funny situation. We were like fucking running out of time, and they're like, "Yo, it's either you do these alone or these don't happen." All right, so I like had to be in charge of like an ENG camera crew that have been working on like TV and movies their whole time, I'm like, so we got this bear suit. Like, I don't understand. Who are these kids? Why are we filming them? And why is there a bear? And I'm like, listen, here's the storyboard. And my storyboards are like written out on fucking napkins and shit. They're like, I don't know. It just shows a picture of a bear standing behind somebody. And they're like, what the fuck is happening? These are like professionals. So yeah, those were, I don't know. It's just great. It's great being able to work with Valve. And they're just like, oh, well, we'll throw this over to the Portal 2 writers and see if they can write a funny line in your little script. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, really? It's like that's how it was for everything. They're insane.
Wow.
But yeah, anyway.
Wow. So, I know it was sort of a popular opinion, but the Mara piece was the standout to me by far. I mean, that was when I saw that, I honestly just thought like, dude, this is a portfolio piece you could use for TV. You know, this is like some Anthony Bourdain shit. Like, you're out there just interviewing this guy. Like, you don't have to know anything about Dota. That piece wasn't even really that much about Dota. It was about people and connection and personality, and it was an awesome story. It was just 10 out of 10, dude. That was like 200% Valve. That was like all they were like, yo, we want to do this stuff about different places. We're sending sheever out to Lima, sending you out to Japan for the Mara shit. And I knew Oyster Cup, but I was not prepared, dude. Mara's out of his fucking mind. He's crazy. He's literally insane. The first time I met him, he's playing the song, Come On Baby America, and he had it on loop all week. And it's all he listened to. And then we go on a stream, and it's fucking all he listens to. And like, we'd be in the car, and I'd be like, he'd be talking to me, and I was like, Mara, I don't speak Japanese, buddy. I don't know what you're saying. And he's like, you are my friend. And then he'd just keep talking. It was like a 40-minute ride. I'm like, all right. But that guy he's crazy. He's actually crazy. I love him. He's like the passion and everything. It was all real. He never shut off. He was so fucking cool, dude. Wow.
But that boat ride. Can I tell a little mini story?
Dude, get in there.
Fucking boat. So we go to Japan. It's the hottest day on the recorded record. It's 100 degrees with 70-degree humidity. I literally walked 15 minutes from a hotel. When I got in, people were rushing towards me with water bottles because I thought they thought I was gonna die. Like, I got the heat rash all over my body wherever my skin touched because I was sweating so bad. The fucking cicadas did not make noise in Japan. All right, it was like that's what it's known for. It was so hot the cicadas were dying. So yeah, it was so fucking hot, and we go out there and we're just drenched every day. We have to go do Mara's boat. So we went for like 3-hour bullet trains all over Japan. And we got on this guy's boat, and he's like, oh, yeah, much danger, very danger. And the whole time he's fucking nuts. We're out there sweating our asses off. There's like Japanese giant bees and shit swimming around. Eels are just floating around the fucking ground trying to bite us and stuff. And he's picking them up, and he's like, eat her. And I'm, get Mara, get that shit away from me. It was madness, but it was beautiful, man. I'm never going back. Nah.
They
Japan's
captured
insane.
it well.
I had no intention of ever going to Weebland before that thing, and now that I've gone, I got to go back, dude. Japan's the fucking jam.
Yeah, I do want to say, though, that cow was fucked up. Licky,
that cow was fucked up.
They made a joke out of it in the video, but like, for real, that's like some mad cow shit, dog. I would not be eating the beef coming from that thing. That cow had some neurological disease deluxe.
It did it for an hour and a half. That's all it did. It was just standing there going,
dude, that's like one of those things.
I washed my hands. I'm like, mad cow does.
Yeah, dude. If you've got a dog and it's just walking around in circles in the same spot over and over, your dog's got some fucking problems and you need to take it to the vet ASAP. Same thing with that cow. If it's just licking its face all crazy for an hour straight,
guys, come on.
What?
What if it's just like a mentally disabled cow? It's still gonna taste good. You don't just put that cow down. You don't just kill the cow or like deal with it in some weird way just because it licks all the time. It's just maybe it got genetically unlucky and isn't very smart because of inbreeding or something. Who knows? Who cares?
The cow is on a spectrum. It's perfectly normal. Everyone's on a spectrum.
One extreme end. We don't know which one, but
I've never seen an autistic person do that. But
you can't eat crazy cows. They give you mad cow disease. It kills you.
You don't want
That was the maddest cow I've ever seen. No, if you eat the meat, it goes to the human brain, all right? That thing licked me, and I washed my hands like 8 times. Yeah, I thought for sure I was going to get the mad cow disease.
That's like when you came back into the country, you know, like when they ask you all those questions, I hope Slacks ticked yes for handling livestock on that box. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God. But yeah, that was an experience, man. All of TI was an experience. Fucking 9. They would just like let me go into Valve whenever I want. There's just a key card. I did like 3 all-nighters in the office. You know how fucking creepy that is? Just me alone at the Valve office working out on a treadmill at 4:30 a.m. to stay awake, pounding 2 coffees. Shit got real dark in there, man.
They still have that amazing cafeteria. I haven't seen the new building.
Yeah, I haven't seen the building either.
Oh, dude, the new building is like it's an entire floor of a cafeteria and everything's free. At first, I was like, oh, you know, I don't want to take too many snacks. By like day 8 of working there, I'd like walk around, go to my little cubicle with 10 snacks, and be like, I'll be back up in 10 minutes. Hey, shit. So yeah, a lot of NDAs though. I was like, they're like, Slacks, we're going to need you on the 14th, the 17th, and the 19th floor. Don't go to any other floors, all right? Sometimes I get a little lost and people see me walk around. They're like, what the fuck are you doing on 16? I'm like, hey, good to see you. Yeah, it's something. I saw a lot of shit I should never have seen. But I won't talk about any of it. NDAs. But anyway.
Wow. Well, Slacks, that all sounds very exciting. It's like a childhood dream come true. Like you said, being able to like work with your heroes, you know, the people that made games you fucking grew up playing, never imagined you'd get to meet, let alone work with those people, and let alone on an event like TI that's so cool and so epic and for the first time in Canada and ended up with all these crazy storylines. I mean, should we take a minute to just appreciate some of the storylines at this event? I mean, the biggest one of all, fucking OG. How about, should we talk about the fucking the late night show? How about that? That way to close it out. The first finals interview that was not 10 seconds on a stage when they're still just like, wait, what? I won? Wait, what? Okay, see you later. You know, like, I mean, it wasn't that a big deal, right? That was another first for this TI.
That was a big plan. I went in there with like a couple big plans, and one of them was, how do we make the end of TI not suck? And it was a no holds bar kind of talk. I was like, hey guys, remember last TI and how fucking shitty the ending was when we walked out with Casey to a bus and Matu said that he hated his life and they couldn't open their champagne. So there's a lot of ideas being thrown around on that one, but a lot of the Valve guys already had this idea from a few years ago that was like tea time in the morning. Who the fuck wants to wake up at 6 a.m. to watch something? So yeah, the idea for the late night thing kind of just came about of how to build up the a nice way to close every day and then finally get the fucking end of TI esports event right. Because I'm gonna go on a tangent here, but people, I do post winner interviews all the time. And people are like, why don't you ask more difficult questions? Why don't you actually ask about the game? They're not excited. The Dota guys knew they won 30 minutes ago. The excitement happens when they win that huge team fight at 20 minutes, and then they're playing out the rest of the game. So the guys aren't excited when they won. They already got all that excitement out. They've been excited for 30 minutes. Number 2, on TI, they're shocked. They're fucking like literally emotionally flashbanged. They have no idea what's going on. And number 3 is like, their family wants to come. There's explosions. There's energy. I mean, they have no idea to think about what they want to say. So you had to develop some kind of way to have time in between the victory for them to process and be able to answer questions. But how do you make them wait 40 minutes? So that was like the idea. But anyway, gosh, shout out to Pyrian and Hotbit though. That was like their everything. We came up with ideas together, but Hotbit was like the producer who came up with everything, and Pyrian was like the acting talent who helped film skits as well. And that thing was an insane team effort. I literally can't believe it happened as it did. That last day in particular, what the fuck? How did we do that? Oh yeah, and we too. Awesome. He was there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So,
that was really good. I wasn't sure what to expect, because anytime something like that's announced, it's like one of these, is it going to be executed correctly? Because in like idea wise, it's great, right? In theory, it's really good, but then execution, meh. But this time, I was really impressed. Pyrian is actually a god. He is perfect for stuff like that, for sure.
Oh, man. He was always in mind, you know? The show was always called, like, a late game with Pyrian Flax and question mark. That was, like, the one thing.
Yeah.
It was like, this is perfect. So, But man, Hotbed, the whole BSJ fake out thing, that was him. He like playing that months before. There's only so many people.
Months before.
I mean, he's a psycho.
I watched that on a Twitch stream in my hotel room when I was getting ready for the after party, and as soon as it happened, I was like, I know for a fact that was Hotbed's joke. Like I just knew instantly.
There's one guy in esports that's so mentally fucked up that he can like think of something like that months before. He's like, back pocket, just in case I can really fuck with this guy's head. Now, that's Hotbed, man. He's god tier at that kind of, oh Jesus, how do you know about this kind of stuff? So
yeah.
Well, he's a god. But Pierre was really good too. A lot of good content creation. It's he was in his element. Homie just wanted to drink ciders and talk shit, and perfect.
I love that kind of content because I've always felt like there's room for that in esports if executed properly, but the logistics are so difficult because, you know, in the real world, Jimmy Fallon has this sea of celebrities across movies and music, and it's like an infinite number of people to pick from that you can bring on your show and talk to. In Dota, it's sort of a finite pool, and there are only so many situations where it really warrants that level of production and attention, and like winning TI is one of them. You know, you can only really do that after a significant event occurs, or there's been some series of events where you have all these relevant people that, you know, you can fill an audience, and not to mention the energy that the audience carries in with them, right? You just come out of the venue, it's super packed. They're like, oh my God, we got to get down to this place. We got to get to the theater. They're all so fucking stoked to be there that there's like this electric in the crowd, and that translates to the talent because you can feel it. You know, these little tiny things, you can get a reaction out of the audience. It's awesome. It's incredible to see it executed so well. Like, it was pleasure to watch.
Now I want you guys to. No one probably wants me to talk about this, but fuck it. But I want you to imagine two different universes. All right.
Mm-hmm.
There's a universe where OG, after one of the best grand finals in TI history, wins and goes to late night, and we have this exciting electric thing. And then there's the alternate history where LGD wins, and we have a translator with the team, and it's like
it's horrible.
It would have been completely different show. No offense, of course, to that audience, but oh my God, I was in that production truck. Oh, I forgot to mention that too. For the late game show, I was like helping with ideas. It was mostly Hotbed Imperium, but I was adding to stuff. But the big thing was I got to produce. I was in the truck switching the cameras and shit, and like, you know, yelling out, okay, camera 2, okay, let's take out this guy's name. The name is ready to go. Let's post it. I was like, yeah, if there were any problems, that was me. But fucking sit in that truck like, please God, OG, win this game. Please God. Like, it was intense. But still would have been a good show. But atmosphere, everything would have been.
I mean, everything's catered, like, that's all catered to the Western audience. So it makes sense that it wouldn't be nearly as entertaining if it was the Chinese team winning. So
I mean, it was designed to still be entertaining. I mean, the band, right? The band would have carried it.
The memers, yeah.
The band, the meme band.
Suns fan, what did you think of the band? I'm curious. You have strong opinions about things.
I was quite neutral, I guess. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was just like, all right. I mean, that's kind of like any band, I feel like.
All right. How about you, Kurt? What did you think about the band?
I really enjoyed the band. I thought they were very talented. I think you could have slipped Zaire into there with like a maraca, and nobody would have noticed. Like, yeah, this is the band.
That's true.
I thought they sounded really good. I really thought they sounded just like a late night band, and that part was cool. But the thing that got lost in translation is with a normal late night show, the band is like a transition piece to commercials and cutscenes and stuff. This didn't really have commercials. So there are these segments where you're sort of cutting to the band just for the sake of cutting to the band. And after a couple minutes, it's like, all right, so is this a concert now? Or are we going to go back to the couch? Or like what?
All right.
But
during a late night show, during a late night show, they have commercials. We didn't have commercials. We need to move people out of the set. Let me tell you, you know, I'm like, all right, Perry, move the guests out, get ready for guest 2. So you have to cut to something. So we cut to the band. I thought they were cringy enough to take away from that cringe. Just like what I do. I'm fucking annoying. I take away the cringiness of the situation, and they were just like so out there and psychotic. They're like, what the fuck is this? And then it just helped, I think, like make everything less shitty. So I don't know. That was all Valve found those guys. That was so fucking funny.
They had the confidence. That was the part I loved. They were so confident. It was a little cringy, but they made it work. You know, they were really selling it. They really were enthusiastic about being there, and it made me kind of enthusiastic about watching it. You know,
And of course, the audience experience is a complete 180 from the Twitch experience. When you're watching on Twitch, you're just like watching the guys. But when you're like in that audience, feeling the music and, everybody's laughing and clapping and shit. Much different. I think, thank God for the fucking audience on that, dude. Can you imagine if those jokes were said and nobody laughed or anything? I know they were a little annoying, yelling fan shit out like, "Oh, Sam!" But still, I mean, just like being able to tell a joke and get audience laughter feedback just gives you so much confidence on that panel to be better. So, thank fucking God those nerds helped us out and laughed. That would have been horrible. So many things could have gone wrong on the Late Show. I still blows my mind that went right, but whatever.
Yeah. Dude, that's how it happens. There's some weird magic that kicks in when the lights are on and everybody knows, like, fuck, it's showtime. Straighten up. Everybody just
happened.
Snaps too.
Whew. But anyway, what about that tournament, though? The fucking the pro wrestling, dude. The storylines. For the first time, we didn't have to fake storylines. They actually happened. We didn't have to be like, oh, these guys played together 4 years ago and maybe they don't like it. It was like, oh, dude, shit,
OG winning it's probably one of the most unbelievable things I've seen. Like they were picked absolute last on Team Liquid rankings or something like that.
It was right? poor job by them doing their rankings that way, for the record. But
I mean,
did you who picked them top 8? I didn't pick them top 8.
I did not top 8, but I was extremely impressed watching them in EU qualifiers.
Bro, I don't want to be this guy, but we saw OG and Seb playing on Midas mode. Seb was fucking garbage.
He also played mid Shadow Fiend, and I mean, since then, like honestly, EU qualifiers, they did extremely well. Like they played extremely fast.
Yeah.
Everybody played their roles like fantastic. Like it was definitely a sign of things to come, basically. And once Thompson, you could argue his like group stage wasn't as good. They made him play like Lena a bunch of times, and then once they finally moved back towards like comfort picks, it's like they just kind of stopped losing for the most part. They stopped getting stomped.
Can I just say, No Tail, I have been a fan of his for longer than any other player since back in the Han days. He was my literally the first player of any esport that I was a fan of, actually. I am so happy that he finally wins a TI. Now that's ignoring all the drama. The drama, on the other hand, of course, I don't know any details. Nobody's telling me any details, but I can only imagine. Holy shit. It goes so deep. It goes so fucking deep with the rift. I do wonder if it will ever come out, the truth, though. Because it's pretty bad.
That's the deep drama, dude. That's like the life-changing drama.
Maybe somebody will write a book 10 years from now, and we'll get that sweet, sweet, juicy drama later on when it doesn't matter anymore.
I guess
maybe.
But oh man, that was Can we talk about Thompson? Holy shit!
Sure.
Dude.
I interviewed him. What do you want to know, dog?
Whenever we were
at the smell like, Sayori?
Yeah, what's he like, Sayori? Did you touch him?
Very, very reserved. Very much just wants to play Dota. Not used to interviews and stuff like that yet. Pretty much every question I asked him, he just said, I don't really know. I just focus on playing. I haven't really thought about it. I asked him stuff about the circuit and the tournament, and he's just like, I'm just in the game. Very, like, one of the most focused players I've ever encountered. Like, you know how when you interview no one and he gives you a one-word answer and it's kind of funny? It's like almost a joke the way that he does it. Thompson was just like super direct and not like I'm nervous and I don't know what to say. Just I'm just focused on the fucking Dota. Everything else I don't really have an opinion on because I haven't thought about it. I'm just in the game. You know, and it's crazy like to go back and look at that interview now where in the moment I felt like, wow, that was awful. He didn't say anything. And to know that he was just that focused and it translated to winning is like, man, what crazy composure at it's weird.
I mean, dude, he was like just some streamer. He was a good player and stuff, but fuck, dude. It was just, he lived the dream. The real dream of coming in and being a high MMR streamer and then winning TI. Reminds me of poor Moogie when they said that to him at last TI. They're like,
the meme.
It's your first TI. How could you win? Thompson. What an asshole. He really did it. But man, that whole thing. I wrote him off. I was like, OG's not going to make it through the qualifiers. Too new, too crazy. But TI's a different beast. It ain't about how good you are sometimes. It's about how confident you are. And those guys, they wanted to fucking win. That's it. That's the end of the story, man. They didn't care. It was like every win that they got was, hell yeah, we did it. And it wasn't about the pressure of the tournament.
That's because they were so focused on the rage
Yes.
They embraced the fucking rage, and it won them TI. It's unbelievable.
I mean,
if you think about it.
Everybody says they hate Thompson too in the pubs. They're like, "Fuck you! I hope you die. You play the worst shit." It's like that's Dota. The best team did not. The nice guys didn't win. It was the rage and the trolls that won. It was beautiful.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure they were mad, but I mean, historically, they were. If you can still credit them with OG's past wins, despite Fly leaving, which I think is fair to do. They almost always found something in the meta that was strong, and they abused it in a really good ways. And in past tournaments, it was illusions a lot, and that's why they got nerfed so many tournaments in a row, because they kept winning majors. And then finally, they were like, all right, guys, let's just pick a better late game lineup and let's abuse the shit out of buybacks in a really good way. And they basically did that all tournament, in the right circumstances, while also playing extremely, extremely well. So. Like it's a mix of things, and there's also the storyline of like effing Mad, like one of the least liked pro players I think at various times. Like he's very controversial. The fact that he won TI now is invincible. It's like when PPD won, except maybe better, because Mad kind of came out of nowhere, and that he basically hadn't been on a serious pro team as a player for like all of Dota 2's history, more or less, outside of coaching OG obviously. But that the fact that he plays and then instantly, like after their reshuffle, that he wins, it's just so awesome. It's such a fun storyline to be like the trolls and the haters got shit shoved down their mouth kind of a thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are gonna
shit
flame
shoved
me.
down their mouth.
Ooh. You guys are gonna really flame me for this? Or you want to know the happiest guy? Liquid didn't win it. I was like, can you imagine if somebody actually won 2 back-to-back TIs? What would anything matter anymore? That's just it. No one's gonna win fucking 3 of them.
Yeah,
so it would have been over. The TI would have been done. It's like, oh, well, Liquid won 2. So no one's ever going to beat that record probably. And even if they do, they're not going to win 3. But, that dream is still alive.
Next year. It's happening next year.
It's a nice feeling for like 5 minutes of thought. And past that, you're like, okay, yeah, that wouldn't have been a very good storyline-wise.
Not at all.
It was a rough year for China, though. A lot of Chinese representation. Most of the Chinese teams performed overall pretty poorly, with the exception of LGD, of course, that looked pretty much great through the upper bracket until they stumbled against OG towards the end in the upper bracket finals, and then, of course, again in the finals after 2-0ing EG pretty convincingly. I was actually cheering pretty hard for LGD this tournament. I don't know why. I was just on that LGD hype train, man. China showed up in that stadium. I think when they announced Shanghai for the next TI, that was like the loudest I heard it in the venue. You know, like that was really an impressive moment for.
I watched almost everything from suite seats, and at past TIs, I'd always be like backstage or slightly outside the venue. And there was certainly like a large percentage of China fans there, or Chinese fans there, like LGD fans, basically. Like they were very loud when LGD was winning, and extremely quiet when OG was winning. So it was really fun to see.
It was great. They showed up, man. I mean,
they did.
I like the bias. I think it's awesome. The crowd, they motivate themselves into yelling, but super happy that China didn't win, because that means that next year they're going to fucking own it. It's at Shanghai. Their fans will not allow them to be shitty, dude. It is going to be a grind year for China. And if they had won this TI, I don't think that would have been the case. Like, your strongest Chinese teams, the strongest players might have gotten a little lazy. We've seen it before, but not this year, dude. They fucking lost TI.
I'm glad the curse got broken, too. I'm ready to stop talking about the curse, finally.
Yes, that'll be good.
Now the curse is that the West is going to win every year, right?
Gotta wait for it.
The West are the only
LGD was so close to being the better team, in my opinion. Like OG definitely deserved to win, but it was still very, very close. But you can say you threw, but like, I mean, if your opponents have better late game lineups, you make a mistake, you're gonna lose. Lose tons of momentum. But
I don't care what you say. That last fucking game, OG had no business winning. Shit, their draft.
You can say that about every one of their wins.
Hell no, dude! That fucking Roche fight when like LGD went in and then they pushed out halfway and then they all died. It was like 22-4. They fucking pushed out, man, and it cost them all a TI. That was a horrifically bad draft by OG at the last. Dude, does anyone disagree?
Yes,
it was terrible. It was a global strat as the grand final game 5. It was horrible.
It ended. I don't know. I remember thinking the same thing. Obviously,
come on, Perch. Come on. Debate with me. Why was it?
I gotta refresh myself on the drafts so that I can.
All right, look it up. Get your argument. Dude, I was sitting in that production van with those guys, never played Dota, and I was like, this is fucking terrible. LGD is going to go like 25-2 by 25 minutes. They're just going to fucking steamroll this game. And they did. But that one Roche fight, it changed everything. Ugh. Anyway.
How are buybacks going to be changed is the question.
They did get changed already.
Did they?
Yeah, last patch, like last week. So rather than it being a percentage of added time, like in the past, you would get whatever I think whatever your remaining was, you would get that multiplied by 1.25, so at like 25% extra seconds. Now it's just a flat like 20 seconds or 25 seconds more. So if you buy back with low time remaining, then you still get a big punishment. And it's also, and buyback was also a lot worse. Basically, it's worse. It's more punishing early game to buyback than it is late game. Late game is about the same.
So game 5 that Slacks is talking about here, LGD had Terrorblade, Kunkka, Silencer, Earthshaker, Batrider, and OG.
FY Earthshaker, by the way.
And OG had Nature's Prophet, Ember Spirit, Rubik, Magnus, and Zeus. Tops and Zeus.
So the Rubik was potentially stupid looking, right? Very unpicked hero. I remember
first pick Rubik. Yeah.
I think I was in the green room. I don't think it was first pick. It was okay. It was first phase. Yeah. I think I was in the green room when it got picked as the Earthshaker response, and it looked really, really bad. And I think I remember Kyle saying, like, why would they pick Rubik? Like he thought it was a bad pick, basically. Which I think
how many times in the green room did somebody say game's over?
That was the only time I was in the green room. I was getting after party passes.
I know Mott said the game's over about 15 times in Game 5. I got reports from back home. Carlos said it was unbearable watching it with him. He said after they picked Rubik, Mott said, oh, this game's fucking over. He was very angry.
The most notorious people to say the game is over and they're wrong are pro players.
Oh, yeah.
When they're casting.
Really?
It's real bad. Real bad.
I could see that. But Rubik potentially works just because where did they lane? They were off lane.
Potentially. It did work, you ass. The game's over.
Yeah, of course. But stealing Fissure, I remember there's a long period where JRX had Fissure stolen, and he used that a bunch of times successfully. Fissure is obviously super broken, and I think FY still got, you got a 12-minute Blink Dagger somehow, which is insane.
Yeah.
But if you steal Fissure, that's a lot of the value.
I'm going to interject. So I'm in this production truck on the late game show with all these guys who have never watched Dota, and they're like, we're having trouble following. And I said, okay, I'm going to teach you one thing about this entire series. You see that guy, Earthshaker, the totem pole dude? If he's alive, they win the team fight. If FY dies, OG win. And that's like all they used, and it worked perfectly. Fucking FY got so robbed this TI. He was unbelievable. Fuck everybody on OG. FY played twice as good as all of them. He was unbelievable. He got fucked this FTI. I felt so bad for him, dude. That last game, he was fucking crazy. He literally had every single kill. He was like 24 assists. He was,
He had 16.
Amazing.
Poor bastard.
Super good.
Would he get the MVP? Is there is there anything like an MVP for the loser?
Oof.
No, they're losers. Why the fuck would you have
the
an MVP?
NBA's had a couple instances where they give the MVP to like somebody like LeBron James from from last year. I think he should have gotten the MVP for the finals because he was god tier and everybody else just sucked dick.
I think I would have given FY the MVP in that finals. The fact that it was 5 games and that he played like ridiculously good every single game. Like I think that's an example where you'd give him an MVP on the losing side. Because if they won, there's no question. Definitely FY.
Yep.
Yeah, man. But what an incredible final though. Yeah, that was like, you can't. The TI3 was the only one that can. And I don't know. The quality of Dota was miles ahead. In case you guys forgot.
And the Dota throughout the entire tournament, because TI3 was basically like Alliance not losing a game until finals.
Yeah.
So every game Alliance played, they just stomped, basically. And it wasn't until finals that was good. Every series OG played was really good. Every single one, except for maybe like the first one was a 2-0. That was a little bit of a surprise, I guess. But
all right, you know what though? I'm gonna get a little cringy here and say that my MVP is the man missing from this podcast as far as talent goes. Our boy Trent was the fucking MVP of that tournament on talent, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! He nailed it, dude.
No surprise.
He did really well.
No surprise.
That's why we hired him.
Years.
Yep.
That's why we hired him.
So,
but holy shit, this kid goes to his first, like, TI, and he's casting the group stage, he's working that. Then he gets invited to do the panel. He does the fucking grand finals of TI panel, bro.
Hold up. He casted lower bracket finals, and then he paneled for grand finals. Nobody has ever done that. Literally,
in the history of Dota.
You get one or the other. They're like, all right, well, we can't put one guy on too heavy. I mean, he was just on maybe the last few games or something, and I know there's a lot of complaints about panel makeups and stuff, but I genuinely think Trent is like the perfect position to be a star panelist, because Dota panels are usually not funny enough. The people aren't really engaged enough. But like the difference is, like, Trent isn't a super high MMR player, but he's high enough, and he also does more work than any other caster does, guaranteed, watching replays and stuff like that. So he works extremely hard. He knows teams super well, and he's very well socially adjusted. So Andy's got a little bit of humor, and now he's got confidence from working big events. So he's got like the perfect blend of everything. Like I genuinely think Trent is like for sure potential star for a panelist caster kind of person.
And for some more Moonduck jerk off, our boy Pimp. You know what? Observer is good when you don't even think about him. And our boy Pimp, I didn't think about Obs one time in that fucking tournament. No T4s at all. From behind the scenes, our boy Pimpy. Good work, buddy.
Perfect ghost.
Everybody else sucked though. Fuck Grand. They were great too. I thought the talent was pretty all right.
Yeah,
missing some people, but it was pretty all right. Yeah.
Can I talk about Weatherman just a little bit more?
Go ahead.
Go nuts, dude.
Get in there.
Comfortable if you want to hit it.
Yeah, I'm comfortable to say a couple of things. I was obviously very disappointed. I found out like a month before TI. I wasn't completely surprised, because I did, like last year I did mediocre. I didn't improve that much from the previous year. So with that said, I thought that maybe they would. And there weren't that many Reddit threads, I don't think, last year. At least I didn't see very many from my Weatherman TI performance. So I wasn't too surprised to see that I didn't get invited. But obviously I was disappointed, because there's like at least like 5 semi-interesting things you could talk about every game that doesn't get shown on camera. And sometimes there's some real amazing moments or gems or mechanics things or whatever that don't get shown. And it's kind of just a sad thing, because for somebody like me that really does care a lot about Dota and likes it a lot, that I didn't get an opportunity to share that. I mean, I guess I still could have, and I wrote tweets and stuff, but I genuinely think that was the maybe more disappointing part about it, because like for all of the hardcore fans, I get that. Like the problem is basically that Valve wants TI to be good for getting new players to play the game, which is absolutely acceptable. Like, of course they want to do that because they don't want the game to die, and none of us want that to happen either. And that's why they sometimes have to make hard decisions between picking something like Weatherman, which is very good for established fans, without a doubt, and maybe isn't as good for new players. Obviously, I can explain things to new players and all, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to come and start playing the game, I guess. So yeah, I guess that's kind of my thoughts on it. It was a hard choice, and even in like the Reddit threads, people realize that like, well, if Purge is there, then they can't do X thing. And you also have to remember that every segment I do is like 2 minutes of the broadcast day, taking up maybe 3 minutes. So if I do that every single game, all of a sudden that's like one less skip piece, or maybe they weren't able to do Nahaz and BSJ's things, which definitely I'll talk about that in a second, I guess. But basically, like if they have me there, it cuts a lot of space out, and the fact that I wasn't there gave space for more Nahaz and more BSJ and more Grand Grant, and we got more of like the Asian corner and EU corner and NA corner, and all those things were good. So it sucks, but there was definitely benefits that happened as a result as well.
It's tough, man. It's tough. TI is a really hard cookie. You have the most eyes on Dota of people that don't play Dota at the international, but then also you need to honor your core fan base, the guys that actually care about esports, the highest level guys. So how do you do that? What's the good balance? How do you balance stuff for the guys attending the event versus the people watching from home? It's this huge enigma that it's really hard to solve. Some years they get it right, some years they don't, but it's finding that perfect balance. Once they find it, I mean, they obviously got to keep it, but there's other stuff that you can't talk about too. Space, like realistically, how much space do you have? Rogers Arena, the outside of the arena had literally no space to do anything, and it was all concentrated in that inside, whereas in a Key Arena, there's an abundance of space on the outside. So physical things like that, time, talent, different kinds of audience members. That's why this bad shit happens. But I feel like there was a big outcry that it didn't happen. So I think that it will.
Why didn't you hire me?
No, but I will say one thing. I did a lot of things at TI, but I personally asked them to not have me be involved at all in selection because I thought that'd be super weird. So I put in recommendations, but I did not. That was all Valve, and they're great at what they do. So yeah, what can you do there? But yeah, man, we're missing a lot of stuff. Sunspin was the biggest miss, I thought.
Yeah, I would have liked Shannon to be there too.
Don't make me sad, please.
In reference to the BSJ Naha segments, I really wish they got more visual aids. They did later in the tournament, but I just remembered when Nahas came out the first time and he was standing in front of the panel. It reminded me of like the same conversation I had at TI6, which was that I don't know if you guys remember, but one of the first weathermans I did, Red Eye walked from the panel over to the screen, and I was like, oh, this doesn't make sense, right? Because then I have to talk to Red Eye. If I'm talking to the panel, then I'm basically talking to them as if they don't know what I'm explaining. It just gets weird, It's better to do a solo perspective. I think it was fine for the first joke, but if you can't have like, I didn't really like how they were explaining it to the panel. I kind of wish it would have been a solo thing with much more visual aids. Like, and the other issue is that they were basically reacting to what they saw in the draft. So they had literally less time to prepare than I did. So communicating that from them to the truck with visual aids takes time and many people and lots of communication, which means greater chances of being wrong. And all of this is solved by having a TV that you can put visual aids on at your discretion and pull them up when you want them to get pulled up. So I think like them even having a TV of some kind to show some kind of visual aid would have really helped their process, because it was very easy to like see what they're talking about and then not remembering the drafts. Like throw up the draft every single time that just happened. So while they're talking about it, it's like, oh, I kind of see what they mean now. Instead, you have to like try to follow everything they're saying. That's so hard to do. So I like visual aids is like a huge pet peeve of mine right now when it's not being used properly. And I really wish that Valve would have done it better for them, because they kind of gave them a raw deal slightly by not allowing them to present as clear of a storyline or information.
It's especially harder for those new viewers too. I mean, when the panel wants to talk about that's like high level Dota, if they talk about it, no new viewer can possibly follow that. If they're like, oh well, Storm Spirit bought this item at this time and blah 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 blah, that's fucking gobbledygook. But being able to actually see that broadcasted out, it certainly helps the newbies, and it's good for the pro guys too. But time. TI is it's on a stopwatch, man. Every single second matters, and that's when I was planning out a lot of the stuff that ended up coming in. It was just like, where's this time slot? How long can this be? Can we fit this in correctly? Because there's so many working parts, not only for us, but I mean the English talent kind of sets the precedent for what a lot of the different languages and shit do. Chinese, Russian, they have Filipino was there this year, and they have to like emulate what we're doing to kind of try to have the same kind of product as well. And do these guys have people that can actually look at reviews and do stuff on screens? It's nuts. I don't know. And that next year, that's going to be the first year where English talent do not set the precedent too. So that's a super interesting problem as well, because we have to try to emulate what the Chinese do, or else we're going to have a really weird broadcast in Shanghai. And I did forget to mention my boy, of course, Zyori. It was the biggest shock of my life when they didn't say it was a Trent Zyori dual cast. What the fuck? Why? You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got enough Reddit love after that too to know that you're amazing as well, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it'll be another kind season to us. It was a weird roller coaster this year. Like this was the first year for me that I really, up until Bucharest, had accepted I'm not going to be invited to TI this year. I just haven't cast enough. I haven't been on camera enough. We've been working on other stuff at MOONDUCK. That's cool. I'm into it. 0% chance. Then all of a sudden Bucharest comes out of nowhere and we do pretty well, and then the super major kind of comes out of nowhere because we did well at Bucharest. Then all of a sudden I'm kind of like, maybe there's a shot. Maybe we're doing it. And then when the super major rolls around, I get the bad news that I'm not going to be part of it this year, and it's like, wow, that really was a topsy-turvy ride, So it was bumpy, but hey, man, it happens. So hopefully this year will be the year of Zyori Trent packs, or just Trent, I guess now, right? The second rebrand from Mott packs to Trent packs to just Trent.
Wait, he did really officially?
Wow.
Yeah, it's Trent. He's Trent now, baby.
Unofficially, officially. You know, it's not the Trent Pax and Zayori podcast. It's the Trent and Zayori podcast, baby.
Well, Andrew, I don't know how you feel about it, but it's always like, to me at least, it's always such a weird feeling, kind of getting like uninvited, sort of. It's like once you, I remember this from like TI4 or TI3, I didn't get invited for anything, so I was just kind of there, and it's like you always feel like an extra, you know? It's like everyone, fans will ask you constantly like, oh, where are you at, you know? Like I did a signing session the first day of TI, and very few people asked about weatherman because they just hadn't quite noticed yet, but some people do ask, and you don't really know like what to say publicly. Like I was considering tweeting at the end of group stage like, oh, that's it for me at the end of TI, but then it would start a drama thread basically where everyone would get upset, and it would essentially be like I'm harnessing that to the detriment of Valve. So it's like, not only is it like difficult to talk about publicly, but once you're there, you just like kind of feel bad and left out all the time. Does it ever feel like that to you?
A little bit. I've always been a little bit like 1 foot on, you know, when I was coming up first doing events at BTS, that was like one of the friction points of why I left, because I all of a sudden started working events instead of just being a studio caster, and that altered the financial arrangement that we had, right? And then when Moonduck started, I always had more of like a management role than casting first. So it was sort of, hey, if we get a gig, yeah, sure, we want Zayori to host. But outside of that, I don't work a lot of third-party events except for what feels like kind of occasionally until this recent season at Bucharest and the Super Major. So yes, I definitely empathize with what you're saying, but not that entirely where I don't feel that disappointed, because a lot of the time I feel like, well, I've just been working on other stuff. You know, we put a lot of effort in behind the scenes, and if you're not in front of the camera, it's like every event you're not in front of the camera is an event where you're less likely to get noticed, to get invited to the next one, if that makes sense. You know, it's harder when you're behind the scenes. Like Midas Mode, you know, I produced all of Midas Mode, but I think a lot of people don't realize that. You know, it just sort of felt like I was a little bit absent. You know, so that's a perfect example of, would it have been better for me from a talent perspective to just work that event in higher production? Maybe, but was it better for Moonduck for me to produce it? In the moment, that was the call we made, right? So that was the way it went. But one little anecdote I want to share, like that, you know, we didn't mention this because we talked about content earlier, but the sheever piece I felt like was really the gem from this TI. Like that thing was.
Which one? They were both amazing.
What were the two? What was
there was the girls league and the cancer one.
The cancer one is what I'm talking about. Yeah, the girls league was awesome too, but the one that was really about her and that whole, just the way it was filmed and the way it was portrayed, and it just all of it, it was so beautiful and incredible. You know, that was really I don't know, that piece was just awesome. And there was a moment at the end where Red Eye was talking about how Talon is a family and we all know each other and we're all great friends, and it's like you're friends away from home. And that was the one moment at TI where I felt like I had to like kind of take a moment and turn off the stream, just like, Jesus, I feel so left out right now. I don't know what to do with myself, you know, because I'm really good friends with Sheever, and I did actually get to talk to her at the after party, and it was nice to just kind of finally get to give her a hug and just be like, that was so incredible, you fucking hosted a TI, and like have that moment. But it when I saw Gods on camera like that, I was like, I felt for him. You know, I lived with him for like a year and a half, and that was the moment where I felt like, you're right, it is a big family, and I'm kind of part of that family, and it just felt shitty not to be there, you know, because that was one of the most emotional moments we might ever have at like a big event for the Dota. You know, that I felt like that hit all of us as part of the Dota community, you know. So that was my one selfish moment of feeling kind of like, man, I wish I just could have been there for the hugs, you know.
I locked my wife out. I will be right back. 2 seconds.
All right, cool. But beautiful, yeah, no, that really was it was wild event. What did you guys think about the 3 host thing? I was skeptical, but I came to really like it. I like how it broke up the panels a little bit, because each host has a little bit of a different vibe and a different way of working the panel. I thought it really was a nice change of pace compared to having one set host that's like the face of the entire event, you know?
Hours worked wise, obviously it's needed, to be honest, rather than having one guy have to do 6 days of like 14 to 16 hour days, not to mention prep stuff. I thought it was fine. I guess it's hard for me to reference, because I basically was in the venue for 98% of the games or something, but I generally zoned out during panels.
Really?
How do you feel, Suns fan, panel wise?
Wait, whoa! We passed the sheever thing already?
Well, no, we were just talking about we transitioned into the host, having 3 hosts instead
was
of
terrible.
one.
Fuck.
You can take over if you want.
Yeah, I mean, you have more to say. What do you got, bud?
Yeah, I got more to say, dude. Who the fuck would do that? Who the fuck would say, take a look into my personal life, the hard shit that I've been through. Let's make a movie out of it so that other people can, like, feel better about it and, like, get a real view of all that shit. It's just fucking shit, dude. Who is she? Who could handle that? It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then Valve, too, spent months on that video, on that one video. There was one guy since like May that was working on the sheever piece. Just working on the sheever piece, making it work, making it good. I mean, a lot of you guys in the chat, you don't know about editing videos and how wrong it can go. Do you have any idea how shit that sheever piece could have been? Way too sappy, way too emotional, not emotional enough, too emotional. It was just, god damn, they put in so much fucking effort to get that right. And sheever was just, let them get that story. It was an unbelievable achievement. It was the best piece of content that's ever come out of esports before. By far. It was unbelievable. So there you go. Sorry, that's my wrap up. But my mind was blown by everything about that thing. Anyway.
One of the first things I said to her was congratulations. You know, like it's such a rare and unique opportunity to have somebody like Valve who has the resources and the fortitude to like put that effort in like you're talking about to create that piece. It's a crazy opportunity.
It could have gone so wrong. Everything could have gone so wrong. Just the beats. God damn it. It was just, they handled it together perfectly. So congratulations.
It was an amazing piece, no doubt.
Yeah. Anyway, so sorry.
So Purge was zoning out during the panels, I think is where we were at. Suns fan.
Whoa, I ain't touching this shit. Jesus Christ. I should have come back.
I think the one thing that, like, I'm not comparing this to last year, because last year I think we've established was probably the worst panels of all time in any Dota tournament I've ever seen. Like, it wasn't even close. It was just atrocious. And it wasn't that the individuals were bad, it's that together they did not mesh. This time I thought it was a lot better personally. I liked the more lightheartedness. I mean, there were a couple choices that I thought were a little weird, but it didn't really ruin my experience personally. I mean, any panel that Trent is on doesn't matter who's on it. That's the beauty about Trent. Literally doesn't matter because it becomes entertaining. I thought people like BSJ and Grant did really well as well. But yeah, I think it's a good
that often.
Well, it was.
Their segment
was good.
They had a couple. I guess the segments, that they did were good. But I like the idea that it's becoming a little bit more casual versus like, just look at the extremes, right? This year versus last year, the difference. It's night and day, and I enjoyed it.
There was more stuff. I think from my perspective, it seems like with Valve going with the let's have a different thing happening kind of all the time. Like, I mean, I was in the talent WhatsApps, right? So I saw the schedules. It's like every schedule would be, or every like block of time they had would be something different. So they just kept changing it, like throw in a new talent, throw in a new talent, throw in a new talent. When you do that, it makes things seem more interesting and fun and like kind of shaken up and less predictable and or more enjoyable to watch, I think. Is my impression.
This is a really interesting part about the international, right? You can either have the same guys on, build this.
Your mic's cutting out.
What? Sorry.
Start the sentence over again.
Hello?
We can hear you. I think you're just not holding down your push to talk perfectly. That's all.
I don't have push to talk, baby.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Just gotta speak up a little bit there, boy.
All right. So anyway, you can either have the same guys on, opening up this repertoire of like the storyline, or you can bounce people in randomly and kind of get that. But one of the things that we talked about a lot with this TI was the change from making the product good, because last year's panels, the problem was that they were not memorable. The information was there. They had information. They were technically good panels because they taught a lot of people, but were they memorable? Could you say anything about what the panel said or what they did? Absolutely not. So a big focus on a lot of this TI was how do we make the international more memorable, both for people in the audience and people at home. So switching it up with those kind of different personalities, it takes a little bit away from the analytical stuff. It takes a little bit away from the actual gameplay discussion. But what it does do is, as you said, increase the entertainment and memorability. So, it's another difficult cookie at TI. So stuff like Machine, what a memorable guy. Everything he does is just like, you can talk about it, you can look at it, but does he know that much about Dota? Not really. Hardly anything at all.
Well, to touch on that point, I think that's a perfect explanation of what I didn't do well last year at Weatherman. Was I didn't make enough memorable moments. First TI was like, I did the weather that one time. I did the drawing on like Ted with the sign guy. Those were all Valve ideas, by the way. I didn't do that last year. I didn't make them any memorable moments. So I think that's another reason I got cut, partially. But I agree that memorable moments are definitely important. With that said, though, if I look at the some of the talent invites, like I think Valve seems to have a thing for, let's bring the guys, let's it makes sense, right? Bring Dendi back every year because there's the community loves him so much and he's such a great personality and stuff. But I think that's an example of, I'm starting to see a pattern. Like they brought March back and I feel like they overdid the March do the scream thing. I feel like I saw them talk about that at least like 4 or 5 times throughout the whole tournament.
Yeah.
For example, like I think as a whole, what you just said is good, but I think there is a little bit too much of that.
Let's talk about memes, Purge. All right, go ahead.
Okay, there's just a little too much like, remember that time.
Yes, and I was being serious. Let's talk about memes. So, good memes. Where do they come from? Do they come from rehashing the same thing over? Fresh. You make something, you let it fly, you let it be popular, and then you move on. And that's a big mistake that a lot of guys in the older generations kind of don't get. They're like, oh, everybody liked it when March yelled. Let's try to have somebody yell every time that we talk to him. That's an old person meme. That's like a 40-year-old dude meme where they're like, hey, the kiddos love it. Do it again. It's very hard to do that. Boris, my boy Boris.
And the same thing can be said about the panel invites from last year. Extremely competent Dota players, very historied TI winners, very good at the game. And I saw the March invite as kind of very similar to the panel last year. It's like, let's get these pro players that are amazing at the game, far better than all the current panelists. Let's get them on the panel because obviously they know more about the game, and they do, and they know way more about the game than any of us do, but they're just not practiced broadcasters. And to pull them from what they normally do into broadcasting for TI without any prep before that, I think is a huge mistake. And I kind of hope that they stop making that mistake, because I feel like it wasn't as extreme this year, because Black, for example, extremely practiced.
Black is a god. I love
he's a fantastic panelist. And I think Bulldog probably would have been fine if he had been able to make it in, because he had worked a couple events leading up to this. But I really wish that they would stop snagging random pros. I didn't mean random in any negative way. Grabbing pros that have never done broadcasting before and then throwing them on TI. Like use your Valve power and be like, hey, here's a tournament leading up to it. Could you have March show up, please? Could you hire March for us so that he's got, like, do some shit like that. Like, give him a little bit of prep. I genuinely think it's a big, it's not a huge mistake, but it's maybe one of their mistakes that are sticking out a little bit right now.
It is a big mistake. It is. I think the number one fault of TI is that they have a lot of opportunities to try stuff at the majors and minors, and then take their best products and their best people and use TI as a showcase of the greatest things that they've done all the time. The issue is that they want to make TI this spectacular thing and premiere a bunch of new stuff. New stuff includes humans. New talent that explode on TI and become like this sensation. They want to be able to capture that and be like, look at this guy that we found. We brought him with TI. He's great. He's going to be the new face of Dota. Cost-benefit analysis of that, though, is not very good. If you have somebody that isn't really this great guy that you thought he'd be, you're stuck for all of TI. You can't just fire somebody at TI, Mm-hmm. And it's they could use their system so much better to showcase growing talents and ideas. And ideas are a dime a dozen. We can think of anything that we want, like here's something fun for our audience to do at TI that we don't do anywhere else. But talent, you're right. It should grow intrinsically. And just having people that show up once at an event, at TI, the biggest event, it's a big risk, and it's one that they take a lot. So I don't know why Why do they do that? I don't know. But
one I might have missed it because again, I didn't always pay attention to the panels. That was usually when I got food, bathroom breaks, stuff like that. But I think the biggest mistake that happened at TI was that nobody asked March what it was like to beat OG on LAN in a best of 5 literally right before TI. I don't think anybody brought it up. He literally beat OG on LAN right before TI.
Nobody did their research, dude.
Around. But they literally
hey.
Like I kept wanting to tell Trober that because I think Trober was the one that was paired with March, or I don't remember who it was. But that person was never on my shuttles in the morning because I would like arrive for first game and they'd been at the venue for like an hour and a half. So I think that was the biggest disappointment at TI for me. So that March didn't hype up how good he was in a joking way about how the fact that like that literally could have been a meme the whole tournament. Like March just makes jokes like, well, when I beat OG on LAN like 3 weeks ago in a best of 5. You
should have texted Trent, dude. He was fucking there. Should have been like, dude, here's a layup for the panel.
How do you? Yeah, Trent had enough help. All right, you could have saved some other careers with that one. That's what I'm biggest question mark for me? Fucking the donger, man. How would it have gone?
I was thinking
2 years in a row now. How would it have gone?
It feels like
the super major.
Sure.
Dude, this is the new curse. This is the new prophecy. Yeah. This is like the sun. Like this one, I thought it's Canada. He's got it. There's no way. Like 100%. It happened 1 year. He's gonna do everything, and lo and behold, there it is. And all he can say is, guys, I promise, I'm gonna get it together for next year. Don't worry. I'm gonna figure it out.
Well, the good news is he has a 10-year visa in China already as a player, right?
There you go.
He's gonna have to fuck up real hard.
He's at the super major.
Has he said that?
No, he was at the super major with us though as talent.
Oh yeah.
So
is it on purpose? Dare I say it? Is it on purpose? What do you gain by going to TI as Admiral Bulldog? Let me present you with my conspiracy. Is there anything to gain by going to TI? Does anyone not know who Admiral Bulldog is? There's money, but he already makes money, especially streaming TI. He still makes money. So he only has to lose. The only thing that could happen is that he could maybe fuck up. He's not going to be better. Everybody would want him already at the...
There's such a thing as having more money, though.
There is. But money is...
Say, I have money.
No,
I don't want more money.
He's easily making more money staying home because both years Valve has still allowed people to buy his in-game signature. So he gets all the benefits other than maybe the salary.
He gets the money from the signatures. He gets to stream at home, which means he gets subs. He gets donations. His exposure doesn't grow from TI. He's one of the only people in the world I can... He's already big enough. Why go to TI? Dude?
I don't know. I don't necessarily know if he's making as much money streaming as he would for his fee for the event. But if he only does like main event and he arrives at the start of group stage or before that, I imagine he could make the money up by staying home.
But plus
that's
the
like
comfort
2 weeks of
factor too. You're chilling at home.
And you know what? The sympathy too. Guy, I could have had the greatest opportunity of my life and I couldn't. Please buy my signature. Fucking genius. I'm pretending like someone shot me next TI, so I don't have to go to Shanghai. Think about it.
Beautiful.
My only criticism though is when did he get invited and get to start the process? Obviously he had a random like unexpected circumstance that led to it being delayed. But if he had an extra 3 weeks, or would that have been enough?
There would have been another excuse, Purge.
No, he would have ditched. No, honestly, I mean,
TI cut out for like 6 words.
Oh, sorry. I don't think he's to blame. As always, it's a bitch. The invites when they actually come out, but the invites for TI, I think the worst one we ever had was it was like 3 weeks away for a 3-week event. And it's just you're waiting there like, please God, am I going or not? Nobody knows.
TI 5 maybe.
I think it was last year, TI 7. I think we literally found out 3 weeks before we had to go if we were going for 3 weeks. So it was like, yeah, it was terrifying. And it's like, in a situation like this is the first time where if they told him like 6 months ago, he could have taken care of it. But again, maybe they didn't know that he was going. That's the thing. So I don't know.
Based on what he wrote, it sounded like he had about a month to do it, and he did it really early. It just wasn't enough time still. So I don't really think it's on
Canada
him.
Sucks. Sorry, they hate dogs.
Is brutal.
Can I tell you about the fucking hardest thing that I've ever done in my professional puppy bowl? All right, fucking Vancouver hates dogs. Everybody, let me tell you a little story. a long tale about the hardest thing ever. Goddamn puppy bowl. Do you know in Vancouver you can't buy a puppy? It's illegal. There's pet shops. You walk into a pet shop, no dogs. You know that you can't adopt. If you try to live in the city, they charge you like half the rent of a human instead of like a $50 dog fee. Okay, I call up all these shelters. I'm like, let's do it. Let's have a fun adoption event. Let's do this fun thing at Seattle. They're like, oh, sorry, we don't have any dogs. We don't keep them after 7 days. And I'm like, oh, they all get adopted? No, we don't keep them after 7 days. Fucking kill them. All right.
Really?
A week? They're devils.
1 week.
1 week those dogs get to live. Fucking Vancouver, no Uber, and they hate dogs.
It might have just been the shelter you called. I don't want you to say that all shelters are like that there, but
they're the devil. Okay. I had to go on Instagram and randomly message people that look like they live in Vancouver, ask if they would like to be on TI. I didn't have a single fucking dog the day before Puppy Bowl aired. You understand what I'm saying? That place sucks for puppers. All right? Pupper lovers, run from Canada. Fuck you, Trent. I know you're watching this. Run, pupper lovers. Yeah, sorry.
Is it Vancouver or Canada?
It's just Vancouver.
It's probably
Everyone else
Vancouver.
was very nice. I was calling up a lot of people. That's another fucking thing about Canada. Why don't they have states? I ask you. You do a Google search on anything in Canada, you're like, dog adoption center in Canada. And it's like, oh, here's one. And it's like on the other fucking side of the world. It's like if I called a guy in New York and I live in California and he's like, well, it just says Canada. Well, we have like 4 districts that are half the size of the fucking capital of the United States. Like half the United States is Montreal. What the fuck are you doing? I can't do any business with a guy 12 hours away. Separate shit a little bit, you fucking morons. What the hell's wrong with that state? Do you know how much work I had to do in fucking Canada? And how many times I called up somebody and I was so close, and then they're like, oh, sorry, I'm 12 hours away. You idiots! Separate your shit! All right.
That's one of the downsides, but one of the benefits of doing that is you don't have different regulations for 50 fucking states. It's ridiculous. It's really dumb.
I wish they had Uber,
Try
though.
looking up,
the lack of Uber really bugged
on
me.
Google Maps, all right? And then it shows you one fucking 14 hours away. And it's like, it's in Quebec, right? Is that what you wanted? No! But yeah.
Well, all right. With the benefit of hindsight, when I was there, I noticed if I walked like 2 or 3 blocks away from my hotel, there would be tiny dogs everywhere on leashes. Like there was actually dogs everywhere. You like the way to do this probably would be to like dress really nice and not look homeless or something, and then go like talk to people that are taking their dogs out after getting back from work, and like because there's so many dogs there. I saw a lot of dogs.
Randomly to people in the park and say, hey, you want to go in the building and get free tickets all week with all the kids? Random
just offer them some cash
Don't
or
stab
something.
Anybody, okay?
Like seriously, that would be the easiest way to handle it. Like offer them like $200 each or something to be like, hey, there's this event this day. We want to do this dog in costumes thing. We're having a hard time getting dogs because all the animal shelters don't have any extras. Boom, there you go. That would have been the best because there's dogs everywhere. It's just like getting to people that live nearby that don't know Dota is almost impossible outside of locally. So you would have had to probably like canvas.
Bro, if somebody came up to you at the dog park and was like, hey, you and your dog want to be in a little movie? It's happening tomorrow. Okay. I'll give you $100.
I agree. It's weird. I agree.
What are you talking about?
What if you went to like dog groomers in Vancouver and asked if they would put up a flyer and pay them like reference commissions, some shit like that? Although then the word might get, I don't know. There's got to be a way. I'm not saying it wasn't hard, but I'm just saying there was maybe a way. You just had to get like more normie, you know?
Dog shelters are evil. I'm gonna say a story I wasn't gonna, but I'm gonna leave names out. All right, I called up this dog shelter for Puppy Bowl. This is like 3 fucking months before. I explained the whole thing. They're like, yeah, sounds great, sounds good. And then I'm calling them back, and they're not giving me back the messages. I got the costumes made. I got 10 fucking puppy costumes, and I got no goddamn dog. So I called them up, and I'm like, guys, what's up? And I had to call the corporate office, get connected with the guys, and they're like, yeah, see, we second guessed it. You know, to us, we feel like putting dogs in costumes is abuse, and we can't say that we agree with that. And I'm like, oh my God, I never thought about that before. That's terrible. And then they said, this is on a conference call, by the way, with Valve, and Valve, of course, this is like my project, so they're like, Lex is a fucking retard. So I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible. And then they say, but if you did give us a percentage of the event sales, we'd be happy to do. And I go, well, that's not gonna fucking happen. And I was like, I didn't wait for Valve to say anything. I'm like, no. So you just told me that you believe it's abuse, but if I give you money, you'll fuck you. Like, I was so mad. And they're like, well, a substantial donation would also allow us to help with the dogs. So, get the fuck out of here. I was like so angry. And the Valve guys were like, they were very supportive of my F-bombing. But it was like, I was shocked. This is a fucking animal Vancouver, let's save the animal place. We think that's abusive. But if you give us a few $100,000, we'll abuse those fucking animals. I don't give a shit.
The costumes were really restrictive, right? It was basically like they'd put their 2 front legs through these little like sleeves, and then they would wear something that draped on their back, right? Like it wasn't
those
like
dogs were so happy, Perch. They were getting so much.
I believe you.
There's nothing wrong with costumes. It's not that big a deal.
They had a
probably
ball.
bad, but
as long as you're not strangling them.
Mock-ups or anything.
I don't like the idea of endorsing puppies, though, Slacks. Puppies are part of the problem. Vancouver's doing it right. Animal overpopulation was a problem created by greedy humans from people getting too many pets than not have enough money to take care of them, so they just open the door and fucking let them go. Where do you think all those snakes in Florida came from, huh? You think anacondas are indigenous to the fucking goddamn, where do the crocodiles live? The Everglades? No! Some guy let a bunch of snakes go. And now it's over. They're fucking up the ecosystem. Same with all the goddamn dogs. You imagine if there were just a pack of Mr. Roos running the streets down Boulder, it would be madness.
Yeah, there'd be no crime. Every time somebody was holding somebody up, a fucking pugs would walk by and everybody, oh my, life is so good. Look
I feel
at
like
all
your
the
mic
pugs.
is dying, by the way.
Yeah? Is it finally taken out?
It might be your mic. Because I was going to say it's the application we're using. It's not happening to anybody else. So.
Yeah.
That's because I'm using push to talk. Is anyone else not?
I'm not.
I'm not.
No, you're the only one.
Fucking Discord, the devil of all internet. Okay, did you guys know about Steam groups? Woo! Let me tell you about the
You're
future.
just valve shelling right now.
Let me tell you about the future. For all y'all there that have downloaded Discord, aka the only virus that assholes purposely download, you can now do it on Steam. There's no reason to go to Discord, baby. It's just Steam groups. Talk to your friends. They can see when they're online. You can join in. I've always hated you, Discord, but Steam groups now.
I will say, I think it's something with Slack's computer, because it's not like he's lying. He actually thinks this is a virus, because when something's wrong with his computer, and I've been there, he turns off Discord and it fixes it. I don't know why. It's only him, though. So I don't.
It's the devil. It's the devil.
Some of the times it was probably Discord, and many other times it probably wasn't.
It's got to be user error, dude.
I'm talking about I'll get lag in a game, and I'll fucking go in my task manager and shut down the 4 instances of Discord, even though I quit out of Discord, and the fucking game works again, all right? The thing's a goddamn virus, and I swear to God, 4 years from now, it's going to be like Facebook when they found out the Zuck was selling our shit to Russia. They're going to be like, Discord's been making fucking AI programs on everybody's machines. It's barf.
Can somebody get Slacks a Discord sponsorship, please?
No!
That would make me so happy.
Oh, yeah,
How much would it take for you to change your tune, young man?
Slacks, you've been mining Discord coin this whole time. You didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
Oh, you have been. All right, you've been making a million. Let's not forget when I approached Discord Midas sponsorship, ladies and germs. Okay,
see, it's muting him already. He's talking shit. So
yeah, there you go.
He knows.
He talked quite a bit there.
Censorship, dude.
He probably has threshold too low, and that's what started this whole conversation.
Well, but it cuts out when he gets really loud too, though. So
they said it was happening on your Artifact podcast as well.
On DMs, I'm not stopping.
Look,
all right.
Slacks hates Discord. There's no way he spends a lot of time trying to fix like the audio issues that are happening. So he's still got audio issues. It's like he hasn't actually spent any more time than 5 minutes on the program since he installed it.
You open up the settings and there's 15 fucking settings. Okay?
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming.
You go to Skype, call you up. How you doing? Sounds great. I sound great. Click. That's it. I don't have like random people.
Fantasy world is that? Oh, hey, I can hear you clearly on this Skype call using voice over internet. This is fabulous. It's never.
Can I tell you about another great thing about Discord? Random ass people contacting me. I'd like to tell you about horning. You want to know what my fucking life is like? One day I go on Discord. I got a DM. Say hello. The guy says, Horn King, 25 damage, 4 armor, special abilities, horn charge. And I'm like, every time someone sends me a DM, I feel like they're talking to me. So I'm like, who the fuck are you? What are you doing? And he's like, arriving from the plane of the horns, the Horn King. Like, what's going on right now? So that's my life. People just send me random shit like Horn King.
You can disable that though, like,
and then get none of my business contacts because there's no way to differentiate.
Somebody needs to like configure your Discord. Somebody needs to configure that shit.
All right.
You need to contact Pimp dude. He'll remote in. He'll get you all set up.
You don't need, dude. You can pick up a literal random person off the street. They'll probably do a better job of configuring Discord than Slack. So it doesn't need to be Pimp. Anybody, please help him.
It should be user friendly. God damn it! All right.
Did you know that there's a setting that says allow direct messages from server members? And you probably have that enabled.
Yep.
How do you shut that?
So you go to settings, and then you go to privacy, which is what you're complaining about, and safety. And then you click the little button that says allow direct messages from server members. You can also restrict who can add you as a friend. Everyone, friends of friends, or just server members.
You know what, Purge? Why don't you make me a 9-hour video about fucking Discord's
this one would actually only take 7 minutes. That's pretty straightforward.
Can we talk?
Shut up.
I don't know how much longer.
Dude, let's talk about Artifact.
Talk, but
great. Now I'm blowing up.
I wanted to talk about the rosters first. Actually.
Okay.
The rosters.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because just any notable ones that you guys find interesting. So the Misery is staying in South America. I found that super interesting and very smart because, is it 2 South American teams, like from every region, 2 slots for every major, right? I believe.
Yes.
Yes, 2 slots per region.
So that is like an auto.
Except for some have 3.
Okay. I'm going to interject. I just found the input mode on Discord for voice activation. It's set at 75%. It literally doesn't activate unless I'm fucking screaming. Thank you, Discord. I'm putting
Is my mic dying too?
Here we go.
Sound bad?
Does that sound good? I changed it.
You sound okay.
Hi.
You were a little robotic-y for a second.
Great.
It's Discord, guys.
You had the threshold. Wait, you had the speak threshold at 75%?
Yeah, it automatically did.
This is the first What the Duck not on TeamSpeak, and it's clearly a disaster, guys. This is
all right. Continue.
So we have Dendi. He's gonna be announcing a new roster soon. Not a part of Na'Vi. Thoughts? It's never been. I don't know how to feel
anymore.
End of
an era, baby. Mm-hmm. This is crazy.
Wait. Dendi, are you talking about Dendi not playing on Na'Vi? Is that what you guys are?
Yeah.
Why does everybody look? I know everybody likes Dendi a lot and all, but this news did not bother me nearly as much as the average Dota viewer. I was like, well, he finally left the organization. Like, look, outside of like GSE Indonesia, I believe, that was like the last time that Na'Vi has done anything like really impressive in a tournament. It's been a long time.
Shut the fuck up, Kurt. Na'Vi is a staple of this goddamn game, no matter how bad they are, and Dendi is a representation of it.
Yeah. Like, all right.
You're a monster.
Plus, dude, his tweet was like kind of misleading anyways. It just made me dislike the whole thing even more, probably. The whole like hype around his, like, he basically had a tweet that kind of seemed like he was leaving Dota, but it wasn't completely clear. Probably because he couldn't say like, hey, by the way, I'm leaving Na'Vi as an organization, so he wanted to put a tweet out, but he couldn't be specific. It's probably what happened. And then later, after there's like tons of outpouring, he had to be like, by the way, guys, I'm not retiring. I don't know. That's what I remember from it. I don't know. I was very jaded from it.
Damn, dog.
Am I really the only one?
You're in.
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody loves
it. It is about. It is about time he left. Don't get me wrong, but it feels weird. He's not on Na'Vi.
Will any one player stay with one team org for as long as Dendi has ever again? That record's never going to be broken. This is like a world record here, Purge. How aren't you excited about this?
Because nothing's happened that much on the team in the last few years.
All right, not to change the subject, but you're saying how mad Mott was. I can see why. Baltimore Ravens 47, Buffalo Bills 3. Holy shit! I've never seen anything like that.
Anyway,
sorry,
back
Mott.
to important.
I'm so sorry.
Back to Dendi. All right.
You could have used the same example with Na'Vi versus some other top tier team.
You take it easy.
Tangent those together.
The question I have is, if I was the CEO of
but...
Na'Vi, sorry, go ahead.
No, it really is like the end of an era in some regard. You know, like I think Dota has been polarized in its history with the amount of volatility of players moving around teams haphazardly, and until the last couple of years it's just felt like chaos, and Dendi is one of few players that has been like building this same brand forever. And it feels like a big change. I know they've sucked for a long time, Purge, but it's not always just about results. Sometimes it's about feelings.
But why do you think Dendi was still on the roster for that long? Like,
because
he's still a good player.
Hats.
But he's literally the most popular pro player of all time, arguably still, I think. I think at some point, like, Sumail Arteezy will pass him in popularity. But, like, Dendi was, like, the glory, the golden child, like, in all extent of the word for so many years. Until at least, like, TI6, probably.
Sure.
Until he started falling off. Like, but to me, his association with the brand, emotionally, that had been disjointed for at least, like, 2 or 3 years already. I swear, it almost came back at GSC Indonesia, but literally right after that, the next tournament, they played disappointing. Their managers tweeted, or their owner like tweeted about it, and it was like, okay, well, I guess this team is dead. So at least for me, like, this was like a death that happened that you knew was coming, in my opinion. That's why emotionally it did not affect me in any way.
I mean,
I thought
you saw
it.
Never mind. Go ahead.
It had to have come, but I didn't think he'd move to a different team. I thought he'd hard retire. How do you leave? How could he be the CEO of Na'Vi and have the Na'Vi face?
He's not the CEO of Na'Vi.
Team?
You just made that up. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying, how could the CEO, how could the owners of Na'Vi let Dendi go? He must have gotten such a fucking offer to be like, bro, listen, I don't give a shit how bad our team is. We'll give you so much money to not leave.
Him being
winning
when
matches
teams are going,
when teams are offered him to stay. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a mutual decision at this point. Like, look, when a team is having a bad time, you need to break them up sometimes. Look at frickin' OG. Like, in a bad place, I believe Effie and Mad said about Fly that he had lost confidence in the team. I remember what that was like on Zephyr when we started losing. Well, like, when everybody loses confidence, you need to reshuffle and, like, get a new roster swap. And if you do that 7 times and Dendi is still there, maybe it's time, and every single roster has been disappointing, maybe it's time to cut Dendi loose. Because at some point, Na'Vi has, and at least in my view as a Dota fan, Na'Vi has been a Dendi is on the team, and they always have like middling or disappointing performances for literally years. And at some point, you need to be like, hey, maybe we need to stop like milking the cash cow brand wise that is Dendi, and be like, maybe we really do need to restart fresh with 5 new ones. That way, we can hopefully get an actual good team for once. Like Na'Vi as a brand has not meant much to me as a Dota fan for a couple of years. Outside of like the olden days, and you can't milk that forever.
Yeah, all right. Maybe I'll concede to this one. All right, fine. It would be in their best interest to have Na'Vi be a top tier team again, and maybe he was the thing that kept them back. But you have the golden boy. You got the fucking what's his name? The soccer guy. I don't watch fake sports, but the soccer dude,
Ronaldo?
the Beckham. No, not Ronaldo. I know he's the hero of real soccer because he always throws and is a giant pussy, but I'm talking about the good guy. What's his face? The Beckham. They got Beckham, and they're going to let Beckham go? People hire Beckham on shitty teams?
I'm not saying I know anything about soccer, but I'm pretty sure Beckham is not even close to the top anymore. He's retired
he's
at this
the
point.
Dendi of soccer.
That's what
Maybe
Slash
use
is
an
saying,
analogy
though.
that
Like,
you
he still
understand.
gets hired on teams for the brand.
Yeah, but from Navi's perspective, you've kind of gotten all you can out of Dendi from as being the face of your franchise, right?
So then the Beckham analogy is even better.
What do you have to lose by letting him go?
Like, I think there's a real possibility that Na'Vi was paying Dendi like 150K a year minimum. It maybe could be more. Maybe Dendi was a total bro because Dendi is a total bro and didn't charge him a shitload of money, even though he could. But either way, like, what if Dendi wanted to take a couple months off, or what if Dendi's like, oh, I don't want to be, maybe I don't know, who knows? There could be millions of reasons that they ended up splitting separately from each other. But I think it's fine that it happened, and Dendi's a great player, and I don't know, we'll see. I would love to see him do well, and maybe then Na'Vi will pick them up. Like, if Dendi gets on a team and gets good, you can bet your ass that Na'Vi would be like, let's sign these like, kick whoever is on the team right now, get Dendi's team here. You know, like, they would do that.
He's going to go to a different region, though, right? I think he needs to do
Southeast
that.
Asia, right? Is that what everyone's saying? He's going
That's
to sea?
the rumor.
Wow.
I've heard a lot of people going to sea.
Worked out well for Envy, you know.
I'm sure it's not safe for Dendi to live in a super Dota crazy region of the world. Like, there are a lot of
gonna fucking,
dude.
I'm
just saying,
there's tie him to a bed and break his
very
legs.
passionate fans in Southeast Asia. Whenever we go to events, I cannot imagine like I'm mostly exaggerating, but like if Dendi lives in like Malaysia or the Philippines or something, they're gonna need a lot of security. Like there's gonna be a lot of random like fans that just kind of like figure out where he lives and show up to try to like
that's
see
the
him.
thing about esports fans. Everybody's like, oh my god, we need security. These guys are gonna mob them. They come up and they're like, hello, and they awkwardly stand there. They're not like
In the
football
Philippines?
fans.
No.
Huh?
SCA? No. That's
Well,
not
they'll
true.
hug and they'll touch, they'll grab a little ass. That happens a lot in the Philippines to me. Everybody's grabbing my ass down there, but it's not a big deal. I mean, kind of like the attention a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
I think you have a very skewed point of view on this.
all right.
Like you're talking about you're within a confined space, right? You're not out in public necessarily. Maybe a big fundraiser or something like that. That he would get mauled.
Were you
No
at
doubt about
Genting
it.
when Digital Chaos won?
No, I was not.
Okay.
I was at Manila Major, and I got a little taste of that.
Did you see what it was like with fans and players? Because obviously players have always been by far the most worshipped within the Dota scene for good reason.
I mean, Weehaw is everybody's favorite,
So speaking of Weehaw, can I mention the most heartbreaking storyline of the entire tournament? Pain Gaming's run in the group stage. I think that actually was for me the saddest part of this entire TI. The one part that I wish didn't happen. IG being down there with them really didn't bother me too much, but it wasn't just that Pain got the bottom. It was that they had such a chance. They had a pretty good first day, and it just like was compounding losses. It felt like every game just looked worse than the last, and they tossed it.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I didn't watch any of those games though. I wasn't watching the group stage.
Slacks? Are you giggling because you didn't watch them either?
I watched it. It's just it was so sad. It was
All you can do is laugh.
Oof. It was sad for literally everyone. Everybody in the backstage loves Pain. We love those guys. All the players love Pain. We love them. Pain obviously wanted to do better, and it was just such an oof situation. I can't. It was just sad.
Why are you laughing so much?
I mean, I'm not good with emotions.
Like you think it's funny.
No, I mean, I don't know.
He doesn't know what sadness looks like.
I don't know what it feels like. We got out. We went to when we were in Japan. We went to the Hiroshima thing, and I couldn't do my emotions. And then they went up and they're like, "How you feeling?" And I said, "I made the noise from the guy from RuneScape." But oof. They didn't ask me anything else for the rest of the day. I don't know how to deal with process emotions very well. So
I mean, in Pain's defense, this was like the most stacked TI team-wise. Like I just looked at the other teams that got eliminated first round, and like it was so stacked. Like it was very difficult. Both groups seemed pretty even, and even in the end, maybe I guess Group A was technically much better, but at least for the top half. But it was a really hard tournament, and there's a lot of good teams, and it's not too surprising that Pain got knocked out. I think I looked at Knoxville stats, and he had them. He did a bunch of math shit, which I assume was correct, and they were the lowest ranked, I believe. But they definitely had like a lot of fandom around them, and that was probably why it was so disappointing that they went out in the group stage.
Yeah,
Yep.
It is. But hey, it'll just make the story even better when the South American team rises up in Shanghai next year with half the guys from Pain and half from the other ones.
Dude, and it doesn't even have to be next TI. It could be the first minor. It could be the first major. Like, there's literally going to be 3 South American teams between the minor and the major. So there is plenty of potential for any team from any region to do something incredible in the next year. And that's why I'm very excited for the next DPC season.
Well, boys, we need to think about wrapping this thing up before too long. What else do we want to talk about? You want to talk a little artifact, a little artifaction, perhaps?
Dude, there's so much to talk about. All right. Even if TI were done, which we didn't even give
but I'm hungry.
full due. Let's say our TI talk is done. Anybody else want to talk about TI?
Nope. I'm pretty good.
Closing
TI
words?
out.
Talking about artifact now? I'm interested.
All right, cool. I'll wrap it up. TI, loved it. That was great. Hope they emulate what we did this year for another year. But it was I like the pre-planning. Planning is good. And the one thing that I learned about spending months at Valve, I was so surprised with how little they cared about making money and the normal company shit. They were like, tell us your ideas, tell us what you think people will like, and tell us how we can make things better for the community. And with that as the focus, as the international, and making it a celebration of the community, I think it's fucking great. So Do it again in Shanghai. How they're ever going to do that in Shanghai, big fucking question. No idea. That's going to be insane. So
will all the talent be in China or will it be remote? That's the other question. It's much easier if it's remote, right?
They can't do remote because League did remote, and we've always been fucking better than League. So we have to figure
that was in terms of casters, not panel, right?
Like, I don't know.
I
could be wrong. But to my understanding, it was casters and panel were remote. But in this case, the TI, if they did panel remote, which they've done for other tournaments, and then casters live, that would be fine. Would you guys be fine with that or no?
That's basically like the prior majors system, right? Like where they would kind of separate things. But I think for TI, you put everything in place. I think it's too dangerous, especially with the firewall of China or whatever. It just sounds like a bad idea to spread it apart.
All right, can I give you guys a preview of what I'm going to be telling Val to do? Are you guys ready?
Sure.
Use the firewall to our advantage. Ladies and gentlemen, TI China banned. You're not allowed to say anything about what happens. Then the next day, we have our own TI here for the other time zone. Think about it. TI from the future past. All right, China's already playing. They already know who won, but we use that firewall. You know, the government's involved. We're like, cut that shit. Nobody around the world knows what happened. And then we just relive TI.
So let me get this straight. So you want to have the show be designed around mocking China's control over their people?
No.
Back to the go over pretty well.
Back to the all right. What
I don't think that's going to work these days. I've heard that.
No. You're misunderstanding. We just seal off Chinese TI. We don't get to know about it. All right, you're just leaving. All right, well. We have a separate show.
Wireless headset. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't comment. You can only hear things I say. But anyway, so we slice off the TI, and then we have a separate show in a better time zone for everybody else that is about TI as if it's happening right now. Everybody wins. You have the entire thing revolving around the Chinese broadcast. We don't have to worry about that. But then we have our own separate remote TI in a different time zone.
All right, what's the next topic?
All right.
So I believe it was Artifact.
Thank you. Thank you. Now we're going to end this conversation. Jesus Christ. One of the worst monologues of all time.
Artifact, huh?
So, can I go first, actually?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about it, but I've said publicly before.
You're already too far. Don't say anything else.
I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm in
the
beta.
The NDA.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna give specifics other than the fact that I think the game design. I haven't been in very long, but my initial impressions are the game is extremely fun. I mean, basically, if anybody watched the stream that you guys are at in the last 2 weeks, I love the game design. The fact that it's like I haven't played Hearthstone a lot. I've only played it like I don't know 3, 4, 5 months maybe when it came out. But the fact that it's only one lane meant that like some turns it's like, oh, they just play a card that wipes your whole board and there's nothing you can do about it, you know? So but the fact that you have to have a hero on the board that somebody can deal with in ways to allow you to play cards. So it's like it feels like there's always kind of ways to get around things a little bit. And the fact that like even if you play a color that doesn't have a lot of card draw, you can use gold from winning your trades to get more items that are essentially card draw. So it's like it like solves so many common problems in card games. Like I played a lot of Magic growing up. If you don't have card draw, it's like, oh, it's my turn, draw your card. Oh, that's not what I needed. Well, gotta wait till the next turn. It's like you're always waiting. In some of those other games, there's a lot of times where you're just waiting for something to happen that just never happens, or you have to wait for card draw. And it just seems like Artifact is better designed and has more potential covers over like the unfun parts of a typical card game. So I'm a big fan right now.
I've loved working with you so much, Purge. I'm going to miss you so much. You can't just break them.
Oh, I didn't sign shit. I got some random numbers. I put it in. Oh, it worked. Cool.
No, so did Cyclops, baby. It didn't work out for him, all right?
Cyclops took screenshots and posted them publicly. Rest in peace, Cyclops.
Yeah, luckily Purge has given out absolutely zero actual information. It's just his opinion on a very vague in a very vague way.
Wait, did Cyclops really do something? Did Cyclops like violate an NDA or something?
He literally posted screenshots of the game and answered a couple questions. Like, and I like, in some ways I can empathize that like feeling where like once you're kind of in as a talent, you get a lot of information sometimes that you should not share, and sometimes we share it accidentally because we realize like we don't necessarily know where it came from, or like it's very easy to let your guard down and be like, oh, it's really not a big deal. Like once you're in, you feel like you're in, and it's okay to talk about it, right? But everybody on the outside,
but I think
know what it's like. So it's like,
I agree with what you're saying generally, but this specific instance, that I find it hard to believe that he couldn't have known. It was made very, very clear, as I'm sure it has been to you in some respects.
It hasn't.
Oh, okay. So, all right then.
Goodbye.
Well, that's good to know. So in his case, then it happened.
All right. Well,
Cyclops
was a little different. He said he went on Facebook, he posted pictures, videos, and said, "Hey guys, I'm doing an AMA about artifacts."
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's 100%. That's exactly what happened. So a little different there. Typically, when you're invited into a closed beta, you don't say, "Hey, who wants to do an Ask Me Anything on Facebook?" It's a risky move. It paid off for a while. Got a couple followers out of it.
He got 8 followers.
Oh man, I feel bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's one of those things he's going to be screwed for life, but for the time being, it's not great, no doubt about it. I'd feel real bad if I was
when
him.
the Half-Life 3 beta comes out, I'm not sure.
Valve never does 3s. You know this. They did Weatherman 2 years. They did Purge on Newbie Stream 2 years. There's never a third. They
when
never go to 3.
Half-Life Infinity comes out, Half-Life 76, they will be... All right, anyway. So, Artifact. I love it. I love lore. I can't wait. I don't have too much to say because I feel like I've talked my fucking brains out about Artifact, but...
It's okay. Nobody watched Steam TV.
Oh, that's cute. Well, there you go again. Another F in the chat.
2,000 viewers. That's a damn shame. 2,000 viewers. That's
pretty good. That's pretty
terrible.
Good.
Look, I get there trying to push
pretty good.
Look, I tried to pull up Steam TV on my iPhone. It didn't fucking work. It wouldn't play the stream. There's some issues with Steam TV. It's not ready. And they literally partially gimped their Artifact stream release.
No, I don't think they gimped it at all, because let's look at it this way. Would you really want to have a grand release showing publicly for the first time your game that you've been working on for a company that is super well established and never makes terrible games, and have just shitty ass players playing it for the first time? I don't think so. Like, not anything away from those players. They did really well for only playing 5 games, but you do not want to show that as your first release. You want actual pro players playing.
I thought you were going to flame yourself for being the broadcasters of the stream. Not that I think you guys did bad, but...
Wait, what?
Jelly.
I thought you were going to be like, I thought you were going to say, like, make fun of you. Would you really want to have this be the release when you never make bad games? And then you have me and Slack sitting on a panel casting you.
I mean, that's definitely true. That's true to some respect. I mean, you need people like me and Slacks to liven things up, right? You need that no matter what. But, by the way, highest win rate right here, Slacks.
Boom.
Right here.
I knew it, baby.
PAX was super fucking fun, though. I wasn't sure what to expect. There was a lot more people, for sure. I think that was the most popular booth in the entire convention, as far as I know.
It was so popular that MapleStory 2 saw a lot of success just because it was next to Artifact. It was like people actually care about MapleStory 2 because Artifact was so big. That's how good it was, ladies and germs. It was so popular it even beat out the Sexist League panel at PAX. Yeah, it was a big deal, guys. Big deal.
Jesus, dude. I like
That's a whole topic unto itself. Yeah, but to wrap things up for me, for Artifact, been playing for a long time. And this has already been said on our other podcast, which is Artifaction. This is probably a different audience that's watching, I guess, but it like, my history for card games does not go very deep. It's literally, I played a little bit of Hearthstone, really didn't like it that much, but I watched a shit ton of it, and I found it very entertaining until, they came out with too many expansions that just made it way too random. I just lost interest, especially considering you have like the same, you don't have the same people winning. It's always somebody brand new, like a new random person. You can't really get behind them the same way you can for something like Dota. So for Artifact, I have been fucking obsessed with this game, by the way. I wasn't sure what to expect. I was like telling him, I was mentally preparing myself. I need to brainwash myself to like this game because I know it's going to be good. It's a Valve game. I didn't have to do that at all. the Dota lore behind it. Slacks, as we've already talked about, I don't care about lore normally, but it really made me feel very invested in this game in a lot of ways. And I think a lot of Dota players are going to feel the same way. So.
And you know what else? Another thing that I got the first night that I played, I started playing it like
no Purge.
Purge.
Please. Don't.
No, you don't think so?
Please.
I thought it was very interesting how like even with the same deck matchup, I found myself enjoying playing it for hours just because there is a little bit of random. It's like it was amazing to me how much playing a card game felt like playing a Dota game. That like I could play the same hero matchups and still feel like every game has subtle variations. Like my learning process the first night I played was very enjoyable to me, and I literally grinded the same. I played the same deck against the same deck for like 5 hours, or 4 hours or something. And over the course of that 4 hours, I found myself learning things, and then like as every game continued, I understood value different. Like it was just so fun playing. Even the same cards against each other. Like the items change it up so well.
I can't wait to try Artifact. It sounds really fun.
Good job, Zyori.
It's very deep.
Good job. Yeah, there's very little to say. Last year, everybody was at that fucking reveal going, "Oh, it's not Half-Life." Oh, I told you, motherfuckers, you'd be on the wrong side of history. Just like women's rights, just like all that shit. You bitches were like, "Oh, this newfangled thing will never fly." Now look at you, all right? Artifact's the future.
Didn't you get to play Artifact at TI7?
I don't know what you're talking about. TI7? Are you fucking crazy? That's a year ago, Purge. Don't drag me down with you, you stupid ass.
So I just wanted to complete that. Your "I told you so" was because you were one of the very few people that actually got to play the game.
I was not shown anything ever, but I will tell you, I always believed in the lore. All right, and the lore is coming.
That's all. That's the only reason he was confident. It's because of the lore. Yeah.
That the lore. Once I heard they were going more on lore, and I still stand by my point. More people will play Dota because of Artifact. All right,
I absolutely agree.
A resurgence of Dota because of Artifact.
I think they'll both influence each other.
Yeah, now I think that's to a smaller degree though than the other side. I think more people are going to try card game for the first time because
I know I did.
It has something to do with Dota. It's going to be really high.
I don't want to play fucking Artifact. I have a lot. I mean, Hearthstone. I have a life. But I played my first card game because it was Dota. So there you go.
I'm stoked. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be something. I can't wait for the future, man. Dota's looking bright. The new DPC, I love the changes. Artifact coming in now and making the community bigger, and the lore's going to be stronger. TI was a good event, and the next year is looking very positive for Dota 2, I think.
Yeah, dude. And keep the ear to the drum. Some announcements on the way, huh? Exciting things in the future for all parties. We actually don't know that much about this circuit, right? We've got the Malaysia Major, Kuala Lumpur, and we've got a minor coming up. And outside of that, still a lot of mystery surrounding this season.
You want to talk about our new schedule, Zyori?
Yeah, I think we're going to podcast more. I think the game plan, right? So the Zyori podcast has officially been renamed the Trent and Zyori podcast, right? So we're going to alternate that with What the Duck. So we're going to have a Trent and Zyori podcast, and then same time next week, we're going to do a What the Duck podcast. Then same time the week after that, another Trent and Zyori podcast. Then, as you can imagine, after that,
what about the week after that? What about the week after that?
And then the cycle will repeat, you see. So
we're going to have a podcast called Purge's Pickles, and he's going to talk about all the things that annoy him every third week. Purge's Pickle podcast.
Like a leap year. That'd be great.
I'll bring up visual aids every single week.
That's a great job, Purge. Can I say one thing, Purge, before we go off the Artifact thing? All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you like to go in with me on a voice pack for the imps with you?
Okay.
All right, I write the lines, and then every time we just get like Buka to move the model, and whenever you play something, it's like the imp looks at you, and with your voice, he's like, just say something. Just say something that you'd say in Artifact. Go ahead.
That was an interesting choice.
Boom! And they got all that energy and shit, and then they stop and they go, well, that was an interesting choice. And then they're back to dancing and shit. Think about it. We'll be fucking millionaires. But, all right.
I'm in, yeah. That's good.
Okay.
He's very excited.
You do all the work. I'll spend the 3 hours to record the lines and then ship it, dude. Give me 50%.
Baby! We got it.
It's done. All right.
Yeah, baby.
Well, boys,
Okay.
let's wrap this thing up. I think do we have any stories? This whole thing was fucking stories. Is there any other Slacks? Are you good?
I have a story that I can't tell, but Slacks can tell it if he wants to.
Great.
What is the story?
Pax
Message
hotel
me.
room. That's all I'm gonna say.
Come on, dude. You can't do that to
Did
me.
you guys share a
No,
room?
you don't need to say anything if you don't want to, but I think it is god tier how fucking hilarious this is.
Did you guys share a room?
No.
No.
PAX is it was a very fun event. Valve treated us really, really well. I've never seen anyone treat someone so well in an event before. They gave fucking pizza and sandwiches to kids waiting in line, dude. And the talent was no different. They treated us great. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, though. We were there from like 9 till whatever, 7, 8, and it was just always on. You're either playing, you're casting, or you're talking to fans, hyping them up and teaching them stuff. So we were exhausted every day. There's a lot of very tired, very intense. But one good thing that we did do is we went out to dinner with each other at every night and, like, got some stuff. So the last day, the night before, we ate at this super, super fancy joint. And I've told people this hundreds of times. The more fancier the food gets, the closer it is to eating a human. That's all rich people want to do. They just want to eat human beings and pretend like they're not. There's fucking bone marrow on the menu. There's like veal. Rich people just want to eat people. They don't want to fucking admit it. So they come up with fancy ways to be like, oh, it's bone marrow and child meat. But it's not weird. We're just rich. We're rich. Now give me a bottle of blood, please. So we're eating at this fucking place where, like, everything has bone marrow and shit in it. And I never had that before. It was way too above my pay grade. I'm like a McDonald's. This was like fucking the Queen of England just served me a sandwich. It was too much. So my body has a bunch of shit it's not used to, like fucking abused babies and blood and bone
Condiments.
shit. Condiments, yeah. So next day, feeling great. Halfway through the day, I'm like, something's really wrong with my stomach. And, like, I start going pale and shit. It's real bad. And me and Suns Fan have may I say, congratulations to us. Suns Fan and I, grand finals casters at a TI event, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck you, Odie Pixel, baby.
Valve event.
At a Valve event. I was fucking 1 week away from you. You tried for 5 years. I nailed it on number 1, baby. But we were the grand finals casters at a Valve event. Halfway through the fucking cast, my stomach has this horrendous pain that I've never felt before. And I'm standing up and Suns Fan's talking. I'm just like, yeah.
So if I can interject occasionally, from my perspective, we're casting. It was actually going, not that it wasn't great before, but I felt like that panel specifically was really hyped. Like we were doing really well. And then suddenly Slack just stops responding to me. Like he's just very uncharacteristically quiet. Like he's always going to say something, right? But this time he was not having the back and forth. So I knew in the back of my mind, something was up.
Yeah. So I'm like literally standing like this, holding my stomach, like, yeah, good. And like the end of the event, I'm like really hurting. So all the Valve guys are like, great job. We're so proud of you. And I'm like, yeah, great job. I'm like completely pale. I start walking home. I don't know what's going on, but I'm like, Suns Fan, get us home. I can't even function. We're walking and Suns Fan's like, yo, dude, you gonna shit your pants if I get lost? And I'm like, I might. I've never felt this way, but I feel like the rectum control is really hurting right now. And he's like, I don't know how to get home, but we're gonna try. And he keeps making jokes about getting lost and then filming me shitting my pants, and I'm freaking out because it's close. Something's gonna happen. So we make it to the hotel, and he's like literally like trying to hold the door for old people, and I'm like slamming on the button. I'm like, get the fuck out! And I run up to my room. And turns out
before you get into it, I didn't hear from him for 2 hours afterwards. I was trying to reach him for 2 hours. And go ahead.
So here's the story. So I'm on the toilet. I'm doing nothing's going on though, but I start getting this like incredibly strong gas, and it's like really like, whoa, what was that? Like I don't know what was going on. So Sunfam asked me, he's like, hey, we're gonna go eat in 10. And I was like, all right, I think I can be there. I'm laying down in my bed, and I pass what could have been the most massive passing of gas my body has ever. I literally screamed out, and my body was gyrating, and I went, ah! And then I don't remember. I fell asleep. It literally was such a violent expulsion of gas. My whole body shivered, and then I passed out. I woke up 3 hours later. And they're like, what happened? I was like, I don't know, dude.
hurt? I'm guessing it hurt if you're screaming.
I didn't think it would be a big deal. I thought it'd just be a little thing, but it's like it moved my whole body. I literally was like,
that.
Ah!
That is the definition. That is the definition of a fart attack if I have ever heard it in my life.
And I was trying to explain it because everybody was like, "Why didn't you come to the grand finals dinner?" And I was like, "I just wasn't feeling good." I told some man in Conrad, and they were laughing so hard. I'll never forget it. I literally thought my last moments on this earth, as the consciousness was fading, was I just farted and I died, and that was they're gonna find me in this bed. That was it. It was so scary, Purge. Imagine going out like that.
That's incredible. If only you were more diverse in your diet, dude. I don't know. Maybe you should eat something other than meat once in a while.
See, that's the thing that's weird because obviously I have a very different perspective. I have these pains all the time. He's never had these pains before.
I've never had
and
it.
It just ends up being gas. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? How do you not know what it is? Because at first I thought he was going to vomit. That was the first thing he brought up. He's, I'm about to vomit. Oh, God. Then he's like, oh, no, I have to shit. He couldn't make up his mind which hole it needed to come out of. It was his anus all along, apparently.
It was intense. It was very intense. So
you had like some bacteria in your belly or something.
Whew. That fucking bone marrow, dude. That veal. Don't eat veal, kids. That little baby lamb, he got his revenge. And that was don't do it. Christ. Wow. So that's my story.
Great. No, that was Slacks. That was the perfect way to end this one. The post TI episode. A lot of great, dense information to unpack, and to end with that, that's thank you. Just thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, boys and girls. Well, I think that about does her. You'll find this.
He sounds so disappointed in you. We've sullied the show.
That you're wearing an artifact shirt while you tell that story. It's great.
This was the same shirt I was wearing in the bed, baby. It's been doing a lot with me. Oh, God. Whew.
Jesus Christ.
End the show.
Wow. So, yeah, we've got some announcements coming. Pay attention tomorrow and the days following. More podcasts, all that stuff. Going to be a good year for Moonduck and everybody else on the Dota Artifact roller coaster. I'm stoked. Slacks is stoked. Look at Purge. He's so stoked. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.